like to call the council meeting of Tuesday, January the 6th, 2026, and declare all members of council present except for Councilor Gates, who sends his regrets due to illness. I would ask that we maybe have a motion to excuse him, please. Moved by Councilor Peckford, second by Deputy Mayor McPherson. All those in favor, please signify in the usual manner. Okay, motion carried. Thank you. We'll move on now. I will read the land acknowledgement. The municipality of the County of Kings is in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral, unceded, and current territory of the Mi'kmaq people. The municipality of the County of Kings is a neighbor to Annapolis Valley First Nation and Glooscap First Nation, as well as a diverse urban and rural indigenous population. We are all treaty people and commit to upholding the peace and friendship treaties and working towards reconciliation in all areas of the municipality. We have an agenda in front of you, and I look for a motion to approve the agenda, please. Moved by Councilor Seffington, second by Councilor Allen. All those in favor or against, please vote accordingly. Okay, motion carried. Disclosure of conflict of interest. Is there any councilors who would wish to disclose a conflict of interest on any of the agenda items tonight? Councilor Peckford.
Thank you. I'd like to declare a conflict of interest for item 7A.
Okay. Anyone else? No? Okay. Then we shall move on to approval of the minutes of January the 6th, 2026. Are there any errors or omissions in those minutes? No? Would somebody like to move the approval of those minutes, please? Moved by Councilor Hiltz, second by Councilor Lutz. All those in favor, please, or against, please vote accordingly. Motion carried. Now we'll go on to January the 20th, 2026 special council meeting. Is there any errors or omissions that anyone noticed in those minutes? No? Okay, so we have a mover and a seconder of that, please. Moved by Councilor Sappington, second by Deputy Mayor McPherson. All those in favor or against, please vote accordingly. Thank you. Motion carried. Business arising from the minutes of January the 6th, or any business arising from those minutes? No. Move on. Is there any business arising from the special council meeting on January 20th, 2026? No. Okay. We'll move on to the Planning Advisory Committee recommendations to be read by Councilor Lutz as chair of PAC, and the first one is amendment to the municipal planning strategy and land use bylaw to expand the Minas Growth Center facility development in the country residential A4 zone and establish a Wellfield protections for the town of Wolfville water supply. Councilor Lutz.
Thank you, Mayor Corkum. The motion reads that Municipal Council give first reading to and hold a public hearing regarding amendments to the municipal planning documents to expand the New Minas Growth Center facilitate development in the country residential A4 zone, and establish wellfield protections for the town of Wolfville water supply. I so move.
Okay, we have a seconder for that. Second by Councillor Allen. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor or against, please vote accordingly. Okay, motion carried. Next, item B, year-end planning activity report, Councillor Lutz.
Thank you, Mayor Corkum. The motion reads that Municipal Council received the results of the year-end planning services review as set out in the report to the Planning Advisory Committee dated January 13th, 2026. I so move.
Okay, second by Councillor Sappington. Okay, any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor or against, please vote accordingly. Motion carried. Item C, next public meeting, Councillor Lutz.
The next public hearing will be
Hearing.
Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026 at 6 p.m. here in these chambers.
Okay, thank you. Unless there's any questions to Councillor Lutz, we will now move on to planning services. All right, planning services application to amend the text of the land use bylaw to add a car wash facility as a permitted use in rural C4 zone with conditions. Alice Jacob, our planner, will be presenting. And Councillor Peckford has left the council chambers for conflict of interest. Okay, Ms. Jacob.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everyone. As you may all recall, this application has been previously discussed. It is for a land use bylaw text amendment to permit car wash facilities in the rural commercial C4 zone. As per Council's direction, we are now presenting it again for a first reading. Last month, we held a public hearing for this application, after which it returned to Council for second reading. However, Council withdrew the motion for second reading and instead passed the motion displayed on the screen, directing staff to draft conditions related to the development of car wash facilities in the C4 zone. So before presenting staff recommendation, I would like to provide a brief recap of the application. Last year, we received a request to amend the land use bylaw text to add car wash facilities to the list of permitted uses in the C4 zone. Currently, car wash facilities are not permitted as of right in the C4 zone, and there are no policies that would enable the use in rural areas through a rezoning or a development agreement. A text amendment was the only option that we could consider. As a reminder, text amendments are not site-specific, so the proposed amendment would apply to all properties that are Zone C4. Staff reviewed the application and made a negative recommendation to the Planning Advisory Committee, which was subsequently forwarded to Council for first reading. The reason for the negative recommendation was because of pollution concerns. We were concerned that the wash water from a car wash facility may contain harmful chemicals, and since C4 zones rely on septic systems, which are not designed to treat chemical waste, staff were concerned that the wash water going into the drain field of a septic system could potentially impact neighboring uses. We did consult with the province on this, and they indicated that they don't have any upfront regulations to prevent this type of pollution. Instead, their approach is reactive, and they would only get involved if contamination occurs and if complaints are received. So moving on to our recommendation, as per council's directions, staff explored possible options, and based on our review, we are recommending that a car wash facility maintain a minimum separation distance of 200 feet from any water courses and from any existing wells, except for the property owner's well. So how did we get to the 200 feet requirement? We considered three factors. Firstly, we looked at our well fields. I explained during my public hearing presentation last month that municipal wells are protected by certain well field overlays, which include multiple zones in most cases. Zone A, where the wellhead is located, typically restricts car wash facilities, and Zone B permits car wash facilities either as of right or through a development agreement. The distance between Zone A and Zone B is approximately 250 feet in most well fields, meaning car washes are not permitted within 250 feet of a municipal well. And secondly, the land use bylaw permits automotive repair uses as home-based businesses in certain rural zones. The use is subject to a 200-foot separation distance from any existing dwellings, excluding the property owners. Given the similarities between car wash facilities and automotive repair uses, in that they are both automotive related and commercial uses, we believe this requirement could be a suitable separation distance for car wash facilities. However, as noted in our report, car wash facilities may have a higher pollution impact than an automotive repair use. And thirdly, the province requires septic systems to maintain specific setback distances from wells. Septic systems are required to be set back 100 feet from a dug well and 50 feet from a drilled well. They also require a 200 feet setback from significant sources of potential contamination. Although a car wash facility may not be a significant pollution source, staff believe this distance could be a suitable separation distance in this case. And those are the reasons we are suggesting a 200 feet separation distance for car wash facilities from any water courses and from any existing wells, excluding the property owner's well. In terms of the process, council may give first reading to the application tonight and may forward it to a public hearing. Following the public hearing, the application may return to council for a second reading and a final decision. And with that, I would like to conclude my presentation. The recommendation is up on the screen. I pass it back to Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jacob. And before we read the recommendation, I'm going to give you my quick take on this. My quick take on this is we have three options: that we could turn this down completely, or we could turn this down and turn around and pass the request for this car wash to move forward, or we could pass first reading of the staff's recommendation. And I think the main reason for the staff's recommendation is not only for the request for this car wash, but it's to protect somebody putting a car wash in this zone in other parts of the county, so that if it was at least 200 feet from a well, it likely will be safe. And my understanding is that this current car wash would probably fit within that it would probably be 200 feet away from a well. Maybe I'm wrong about that. So it's a situation that I think that's the recommendation from staff. So that's the way I see it. It's one out of three. It's turn it down, pass the recommendation to staff, or it's turn this down and move forward with the request to approve the car wash. All right, so who's blinking first? Councillor Best.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Any chance that we could ask the gentleman in the stands to come up and tell me what he feels about this 200 feet from wells? I did a little bit of research on people are washing trucks and trailers, and sometimes over a weekend they do 120 to 150 trucks and trailer that's going everywhere in the ground. 200 feet seems like a lot of feet to me.
Well,
I don't know much about this, but I would like to hear from the gentleman who put in this request.
I can try that, Councillor Best. We'll see. Would the gentleman like to come forward? And it's a simple question. We don't want to get into a long, and maybe this is irregular, but do you feel that if this recommendation was passed by council, you would be not within 200 feet of your neighbor's well?
Yeah, so the 200 feet would not work. So this does no protection for anybody's well by creating this distance, because the building itself is not what's causing the pollution, it's the discharge from the building.
Okay,
So-
the question is, and you've answered it, thank you.
Yeah, so the building isn't the
You
issue.
would be closer than 200 feet.
It would be closer than 250 feet, but the building isn't the issue. So
No.
they're putting restrictions on the building, but the building isn't the issue, it's the discharge from the building, which would be well out of that. But the way this is worded is if this went through, then we wouldn't be able to put the building within 200 feet of a wellhead, but that would make no difference. Essentially what we could do is put the building at the back of the lot, and we could move the septic field and put it up front, because that would meet the requirements of the 50 feet to a well,
Okay.
which would make no sense. So,
Okay, thank you to you. So we got away with it, Councillor Best. Councillor Lutz.
Thank you, Mayor Corcoran. Through you, I'm wondering, Alice, if you could go back a few slides to the wellhead slide with the one, yeah, this one here. Not the first one, this one. Okay, I'm just trying to grasp. 200 feet is like more than half of an American football field, right? It's like 66 yards. So I'm trying, like, that's how I measure things in football fields, because I can't do feet. What is the difference between the 50 feet and the 100 feet? They both say septic system, and I feel like you said this in your presentation, but I can't quite remember what was the difference between the 50-foot and the 100-foot septic systems.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, to Councillor Lutz. I'm sorry, I should have marked that on the slide. I forgot about that. The 50 feet is the setback for a septic system from a drilled well, and the 100 feet is from a dug well.
Okay. That's very helpful. Thank you.
Okay. Councillor Hiltz.
Thank you, Mayor. Through you, I found it confusing when I did read the agenda because, like the applicant says, so if you're looking at, the building itself with those setbacks, but there's no contamination coming from that. I understand, so laundromats, for like garages, for instance, leaky vehicles, things like that. When it comes to contaminants, you've got, you look at our roads, like the salt, things like that. And I know the wording, with all due respect to staff, like wordings like, car wash may have more impact than a garage. That's not definite by any means, excuse me. I know the applicant had mentioned, there's the provincial, we talked last time about federal laws. And also, I did see, and I believe because it's coming from a staff negative recommendation, but I also see it as some economic spin-offs here as well. Okay. And I consider myself an environmentalist, but I also think, we have to be flexible here, open for business. And I think, I know, say if you live in South Berwick, and I'm not saying this, it's worth putting anything at risk, but there's economic spin-offs. You've got, Coldbrook to, I think it's Greenwood, are the nearest ones. And I will be voting, I want to vote in favor.
Okay, well,
Of
to
this,
to
that's-
vote in favor, you would have to vote against this.
Correct.
And then
Yep.
put another motion on the floor to approve second reading. So
Right.
that's why I explained it the way I did.
Yep.
So we know where you stand. Thank you.
Yep.
So let's just, so we're clear, because this can be a little confusing. To approve this here, you have to turn this recommendation down and another motion to give second reading. Okay? Or you can approve this, or you can turn it down entirely. So I just, so everybody's clear, all right, so. Turn your light back on, yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor, through you. And I know on that same route, so the Evangeline Trail or the trunk number 1, the old highway, there's also greenhouses. There's from the west and to the east. And if we want to talk about, environmental concerns, you're talking pesticides, you're talking fertilizers. And I operated a greenhouse myself, and there's, huge risks there. I know we've talked about a filter system, and, I know the applicant has done, seems the due diligence, and yeah, the 200 feet seems a little much for me. That's all. Thank you.
So you're trying to tell us you're operating an unsafe greenhouse?
That would be incorrect.
Just checking.
That was in the past. It's totally legal.
Deputy Mayor McPherson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you, I want to begin by acknowledging the effort of staff, evidently, to find an environmentally friendly solution to this, and I appreciate that. I guess my question is, the potential for contamination in my mind would come from a septic system being overfull or overflowing, and that's the potential for some type of environmental issue. I'm struggling to understand the 200 foot for the building when really the building itself is not the environmental issue, it's the septic system. So if you were to say that the septic system needs to be 200 feet away from a well, I could understand that clearly and get behind that. But I'm struggling to understand what the danger of having the building within 200 feet would be. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Lutz.
Oh, did you want to go to Laura?
I'm
Okay.
chairing the meeting, not.
Sorry,
Laura.
wasn't sure about timing. I was just going to say, I don't think we have a motion on the floor yet, but if we were looking for one, I would be in support of what Councillor Hiltz has mentioned, the going back to the second reading of the initial motion from our last meeting, and I've got it here when you're ready for a motion.
Thank you. Director Javrik, you had your light on first.
Thank you, Mayor. Actually, I was going to say the same thing. We don't have a motion on the floor, so we could go back to the motion that was withdrawn last month.
Okay.
And the only other point I wanted to make is the 2 car washes mentioned, both are not on on-site septic, they are on central sewer, just to clarify.
Thank you for that. And, okay.
To you,
Laura.
Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to address the Deputy Mayor's
Thank you.
comments or question related to the source of the contamination. And I'm also going to touch on what Councillor Hiltz mentioned as well. Staff's concern does not come from the normal effluent that is typically treated in a septic system. Staff's concerns come from oil and other grit coming off the cars, which is not treated through the septic system. However, we did confirm that an oil grit separator would be required under the plumbing code, which would typically be located within the drain, which is typically in the building. And that's why we are recommending that the separation distance come from the car wash building as opposed to the septic field itself. So it has nothing to do with how full the septic system is. It has to do with the concerns around petroleum products entering into a water supply, which is why we established the separation distance consistent with the Zone A's of our Wellfield overlays, because staff were of the opinion that a private well deserved a similar level of protection as a municipal well in this regard from contamination of petroleum products, which, unlike salt or pesticides or fertilizers, if a petroleum product enters a well, the well is no longer usable. There's no amount of flushing, there's no amount of time you can give it to recover, unlike salt, which is, as we all know, water soluble. So that would typically move through the watershed, and the well would no longer be contaminated after a time. But with petroleum products, that is not the case. Water and oil still don't mix, last time I checked. So when you get oil in a well, you can no longer use it.
Thank you for that explanation. Okay, so the way I see it, we've got, we're still back to 3 options. Turn this down completely. If we accept the staff's recommendation, basically would be also turning it down for this applicant, or we can make go back to the recommendation previously to give second reading to this application. So we do not have a motion on the floor, so I'm looking for a motion on the floor to do this recommendation or go back to the previous recommendation for second reading. Councillor Lutz.
Thank you, Mayor. Through you, I would prefer to go back to the initial motion that Municipal Council gives second reading to the application.
Okay, so you're making that motion?
Yeah.
Do we have a seconder? Second by Councillor Harding. Okay, now we're open for further discussion on that, and that's that the Municipal Council gives second reading to the application to amend the text to the land use bylaw and add car wash facilities to the list of permitted uses in rural commercial C4 zone as described in Appendix A of the report dated November the 12th, 2025. Any further discussion? Any further discussion? Questions being called. All those in favor or against, please vote accordingly. Motion carried. Oh yeah, I was going to say, Councillor Peckford. All right, motion carried. That's it. We shall now move on. All right. Well, thank you very much. All good debate, and thanks again for the staff for lots of valuable information. All right, we'll move on to proclamation requests. Awareness Month. Yanni Postma, our municipal clerk, will be presenting.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good evening, Council. We have 2 proclamation requests on the agenda tonight. The first one is for Amyloidosis Awareness Month. For those who are not aware, amyloidosis is a group of complex rare diseases caused when an abnormal protein called the amyloid deposits in various locations throughout the body, leading to organ impairment or failure. This request was submitted by the Canadian Amyloidosis Support Network, and the recommendation is that Municipal Council proclaim March 2026 to be Amyloidosis Awareness Month in the municipality of the County of Kings.
Okay, we have a mover. Moved by Councillor Best, second by Councillor Sappington. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify, or all those in favor or against, please vote accordingly. Motion carried. Okay, thank you. The next one.
The second proclamation request was submitted by the Heart and Stroke Foundation, and it was actually also submitted by an assistant professor in the School of Kinesiology at Acadia University, who is also the director of Acadia's Cardiac Maintenance Program. And both requests were submitted on behalf of the Canadian Women's Heart Health Alliance. And the recommendation is that Municipal Council proclaim February 13th, 2026 to be Wear Red Canada Day on behalf of the Canadian Women's Heart Health Alliance in the municipality of the County of Kings.
Okay. All right, so the motion is from front of you there. So we have a mover, moved by Councillor Sappington, second by Councillor Hiltz. All those in favor or against, well, unless there's any more debate, sorry. All those in favor or against, please vote accordingly. Motion carried. Okay. Now we'll go on to King's Transit. Finance Director Mike Livingstone will be presenting.
Thank you. Good evening, Council, Mr. Mayor and Council. So I'll just be presenting on King's Transit Authority capital contribution for fiscal 25-26. A quick overview of the situation. Back when the King's Transit budget for 25-26 was considered, it was given, the capital portion of the budget was given conditional approval. The condition was that King's Transit was to prepare a detailed plan on moving towards electrification of the fleet and a related long-term financial plan. And until that time, the capital share would be held back. Since that original condition was set, King's Transit has changed course away from full electrification, and they're currently looking at hybrid options for buses. They're in the late stages of getting their fiscal 26-27 budget approved, and staff has reviewed the proposal, including its long-term financial plan, and feel comfortable about the direction and feel it's prudent to request that we release the capital contribution for 25-26. So that amount is $36,838. It's a little bit under the budget for our contribution, just because during the year there was a shift in the ownership percentages in the IMSA, the Municipal Service Agreement. So the request this evening is that Municipal Council authorize the release of $36,858 as the municipality's contribution to the 2025-26 King's Transit Authority capital budget. And I'd be happy to take any questions if you had any.
Okay. Any questions to Director Livingstone? No? Okay, so the recommendation is that Municipal Council authorize the release of $36,858 as the municipality's contribution to the 2025-26 King's Transit Authority capital budget. Do I have a mover, please? Moved by Deputy Mayor McPherson, second by Councillor Hiltz. Any further discussion? I will say those buses are in bad shape and long overdue being replaced, and electric buses is not the answer right at this time. Councillor Hiltz.
Thank you, Mayor. Through you, those were just my comments. It's great to see that we're going with a combination hybrid gas, especially in our climate. And I remember the presentation by Meg Hodges, and you know, some of the comments about the longevity, or not so much, I guess, of the batteries. So it's great to see it under budget as well. So yeah, well done. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, all those in favor or against, please vote accordingly. try again. Okay, let's do it the old-fashioned way. So, Deputy Mayor, did you vote in favor? Councillor Hiltz? Okay. Councillor Peckford? Councillor Harding? I did. Okay. And Councillor Allen? Motion carried. All right, we'll move on then to, thank you, Director Livingstone. Board and committee reports. Annapolis Valley Trails Coalition. Councillor Hiltz submitted a report. Did you have anything to add, Councillor Hiltz? No, I haven't. Okay, all right. Is any questions to Councillor Hiltz? No, okay. All right, committees of council. Is there any verbal reports for committees of council? Councillor Harding, put your light on, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to do a report on the regional sewer. We had a meeting January 15th, 2026 at 10 a.m. We added a new person to our committee. It's Kathy Maxwell, and she'll be the vice chair. She was voted in as vice chair. And we had reports from Emily Guzman regarding capital project updates, and a presentation by Tyler Honeywood regarding the 2025 Regional Sewer Variance Report. And the only other thing that I see that the team has been working hard to get things done at the sewer in New Minas. We still have some samplers that haven't gone out yet. We have them and have them ready to go, but we're waiting for Kentful to do some work at the spots where they have to be. So, any questions? Oh, yeah,
Thank you, Councillor Harding. Any questions to Councillor Harding on his report? No? Okay, thank you. Any other committees of council? External boards and committees. Any verbal reports from external boards and committees? Councillor Lutz.
Thank you, Mayor Corcoran. Through you, I would just note that the Annapolis Valley Regional Library Board met with the heads of council of the participating partners of the AVRL here a couple weeks ago, and we received a presentation from CEO Julia Merritt regarding the financial strain that the library system is currently under, and some of the difficult choices ahead regarding provision of service for the libraries. So we will have another board meeting coming up shortly, and I'll keep council informed about those discussions. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions to Councillor Lutz? No. Can I have a motion to approve all the moved by Councillor Peckford, second by Councillor Sappington? All those in favor, please, or against, please vote accordingly. Motion carried. Okay, is there any other business coming in front of council? Councillor Best.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a comment here. I had a conversation with a gentleman that wanted to know about transfer tax. Is there any way that we could get a report once a month, exactly how much transfer tax comes in, or once a quarter, every quarter, or whatever? I don't know how that works. Does it come right in from the realtors?
You ask the question,
Okay.
we'll get you an answer here.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through you to the councillor. So our collections are handled by the Registrar of Deeds, and I don't believe that they report on that frequency, but the collections will be reported on a quarterly basis on our variance reports.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right. Now we're at the comments from the public period. Is there any member of the public that would like to come forward? If so, we'd ask you to state your name for the record, and you have up to a maximum of 2 minutes. Is there any member of the public that would like to address council? Is there any member of public would like to address council? I'd looking for a motion to adjourn, please. Moved by Councillor Peckford, second by Councillor Hiltz. All those in favor or against, please vote accordingly. Did you vote in favor of that, Council? Okay. Motion carried. Councillor Best voted in favor also. Thank you.